Welcome everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about learning from failures. And I think that we as a society, we get so hung up and we're not supposed to fail. And it's kind of preached to us or instilled in us that failing is bad. And what I've learned, not only through just learning from others, through experience, that my failures really taught me a lot. So today I wanted to share a little bit about what it looks like to fail. So I would say, I don't think it was really a failure for me. It was actually a blessing in disguise, but I don't count it as a failure. Yes, I think that my money could have been repurposed a better way, but I don't regret the decision I made. So I know I talk a lot about having an online boutique, and I had one. And I decided this year, I started in March of last year, and I basically went all in, did my taxes, took my taxes, and started this online boutique. I didn't do any research. I didn't do anything. I just was like, I'm going to do it. Figure it out along the way. So as I'm doing that, I started to learn a lot of stuff about me and that part of business. I learned that I don't know really anything about sales. I'm a business person, I'm a business major, but I focus on more of the IT side, and my skill set is on information technology, whether that be setting up computers or web design or other IT or other applications, but not necessarily on the business side. I always worked on technology within business, but not actually marketing, advertising, promotion. I did management, so I know how to manage a business, but not at the highest level. As we do as entrepreneurs, but I'm equipped with some of those skills and knowledge. So I just had to really take a step back, and that's kind of where this entrepreneur journey kind of season episode thing came from, because I realized I had to take a step back and really think about me and how I am and what success I want, what wealth I want, and what I need to do to get there. What this experience really taught me is that I didn't know a lot of stuff, and it kind of exposed me to just my weaknesses. It exposed me to what I don't know, and it made me realize that even though I'm great at business, I know a lot, but I still have a lot to learn. And I wanted to get better at the things that I wasn't the best at, which we should be doing anyways, but sometimes we get so full of ourselves, and I kind of do this sometimes. I get so full of myself, I don't need to know this, that, and the third, because I got it. And it was really a humbling experience, because it made me face my reality of what I have been escaping, is that, no, Brianna, you don't know everything, and you have to learn more. So I decided that really I just wasn't going to do my boutique anymore. And I just kind of left it at that. I told everybody, that I was working with, that I'm just not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to let it go, because it wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't something I was passionate about. And what I was passionate about, and I felt like my purpose was in this, as far as being an entrepreneur and sharing my story and helping others get to the success that they need to get to. Also, what I learned was that I needed to do more research, and I am definitely the type of person that does not think later on most things, as long as it's not too dangerous or too risky. I would just go ahead and do it, and that's kind of what I did with my online boutique. I just jumped in. I didn't do any research. I didn't look into what you needed for an online boutique. I just looked at wholesalers, set on my website. I'm like, okay, I can advertise here and there. People in my city are going to support me, which they did. My family and friends, they did support me, most definitely. But as far as marketing and pictures and photography and getting deals, sponsorships, or whatever, having a brand ambassador, those things I did not research into, which I should have a little bit more. So that kind of taught me a lesson of, yes, Brianna, you want to be a risk taker, but do a little bit of research first. Make sure you look into what you're taking your risk in, to whether you know all of the components or not, and what it it really details before you actually just jump into it. So that taught me a lot, and that lesson is going to help me a lot in my future endeavors as far as personal and business and entrepreneurial things. And with all of that, again, it just made me realize like what I don't know and what I needed to learn more on. Just taking a step back, and even as I start to market my services, well, I had already kind of started marketing my services for my consultant, but I decided to take a step back so that I can learn more and make sure that I am doing it right. So it made me realize that I needed to do some more research, do some more learning, maybe even take the next step in getting a coach so that way I can set up my consulting services how they're, supposed to be set up, and I could do my selling and advertising and promotion of my consulting services the right way. And not necessarily just the right way, just the way that I want to do them, but as in a successful manner. So I learned all of these things by having a business that didn't even have anything to do with this business. And it's taught me so much about business in general. And it was things that I could carry over from that to this and apply them to this business as well. And it made me realize that I can't do too many things at one time. I am like a mom. Well, it's not like a mom. I am a mom. And I still work my 9 to 5 because I have to take care of my daughter, and I'm divorced. So I do get help from my parents, but I'm not a leech. So I pay my own bills and I make my own way. So I had to realize that it's a step-by-step process, and I can't stretch myself too far, too wide, because I need to still be available for that, be available for her, be available for myself, and continue to learn and work on my craft every day. So this is giving me tremendous insight, and that's why I say that we learn from our failures. And most people think that it's a failure, but I don't think it's a failure. I think it's taught me a lot, and I'm happy about the failure, quote unquote. But what I did decide to do, since I still have my business registered, the stuff that I do have for inventory, I'm just going to sell them on Poshmark and eBay. I was already kind of selling them on Poshmark, but now I'm posting my stuff on eBay because I already had an eBay store. So it wasn't necessarily a failure, and entirely I'm still going to use the business to have those sales under there, and I'm going to get back into my reselling. And if you watch some of my older videos, I talk about reselling a lot as a extra stream of income, which I had kind of took a break on because I was doing 2 businesses. But now that I'm just back to focusing on my one business, my consulting services, I can now kind of maneuver back into reselling, because reselling doesn't take too much time or energy. And my mom does reselling as well. So a lot of the research that needs to be done as far as reselling and knowing what goods are going to resell for higher value, things like that, and what's going on with the platform. My mom watches those videos and she does her research on that, and she just comes back and just gives me all the information I need, so I don't have to spend extra time doing research on that. So it wasn't a complete failure. Again, I learned so much from the experience, and I learned that I wasn't doing something that was true to heart, because I'm not a seller. I'm not like a girly girl. I don't know how to pose for pictures, and I didn't really have the status or income to hire somebody all the time to take pictures or have a brand ambassador. And I had to realize that and be real with myself. And a lot of people just wanted me to keep going with it, but I really didn't want to. So I just said, forget it. We can't really go based on what other people think and what other people say. And I'm just learning to go with my gut feeling, and I'm really happy about it. Like, I'm so less stressed because you have to create, posts for Instagram, posts for this, posts for that, make sure you got sales. And I just don't have time for it right now. I have other priorities that I realize that I need to focus on in my life, as far as saving money, building wealth, investing, paying off things, get rid of debt, restructuring how I budget my income and things like that. So taking extra money to do other things with something that my heart isn't into is just like a waste of time for me. And instead of prolonging it and making it something that that people wanted me to do and not me wanting to do, was like, it didn't make sense. And I watch Gary Vee all the time, and he always talks about like not worrying about what other people think of you. And I listen to other people as well. I watch Louis Howe's School of Greatness, and I just follow different people and hashtags on Instagram, and a lot of them talk about just not caring about what other people do and just being within yourself, making the decisions yourself, knowing what's best for you, and going off of that and looking within for decisions, not outside. And it's not anything wrong with getting opinions and everything like that, but if you know something is right for you, then go with that decision. So that is today's video, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to hear more about my entrepreneurial journey and what I've learned, then definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, be blessed, and I will see you in the next video.